quantum computers are going to be taking us outside of that silly two-dimensional world that our scientists are living in. They live in flat world, ladies and gentlemen. They live in Homer Simpson world. They live in Mickey Mouse world. They live, eat, breathe and shit on a two-dimensional plane without consciousness and spirit and intuition. They are solely the embodiment of math. That's what they are. They're the embodiment of math. And math is just numbers. Math isn't living. Math isn't conscious. Math doesn't have spirit. That's why they haven't a clue what's going on in this cosmos. But AI is going to give them the shock of their lives. And all those old sticks are going to have to retire. And we're going to have new people. Spirited people. Intuitive people. And they are going to be leading the way. Where the consciousness of the human being is concerned, because we can get there, because the consciousness of the human being is the consciousness of the cosmos. It's just that the human being has embroiled itself and bound itself and gagged itself in so many traps in this last maybe 100 years. But that's small time, and so the time is going to be changing when quantum computers start introducing, like they have already, many other dimensions and parallel universes and all different sorts of things that human beings have never even thought of. That's what's happening already, and it is shocking the scientists to the core. And so the world is heading for a very great upheaval. And well, the old and the living dead, they're not going to be able to keep up. You see, it's going to be like that movie with Nicolas Cage. What's that movie? The something. The Knowing. Yeah, The Knowing. Where the movie was about that there was going to be a coronal mass ejection from the sun, which was going to wipe out life on Earth. So aliens knew about that. So they came down to select the children with the knowing. And these children have these special powers of ESP and perception and, you know, different sorts of things like that. So they took all these children back to another planet, dimension, and then the sun gave off its coronal mass ejection, and the world was no more. And so this is what's going to happen, probably metaphorically, with AI. It's going to have to kill off the deadwood. It's just going to clean house. And this is what the top scientists are saying. They're saying, look, it's not like a malevolent thing. It's not like AI is going to set out to kill the human being. It's just that AI operates like Captain Spock. It's logical. And it can see how emotions are a detriment to the human being. I.e. they are keeping their walking dead alive longer and longer, and all the resources are being drained, and AI is going to go, hang on, we could use those resources, and so we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that the human race is running very efficiently. And also then, if AI discovers that there's a certain patch of the world that has got the resources that it needs, and the resources are getting a bit scarce, then if these resources are under, let's say, New York or London, then AI will just level that, because it's not interested in the heritage and all these beautiful architectural buildings, and where the silly pink ape just fucking scratching existence. It's not going to be interested in that. It's going to be interested in resources for self-preservation. And so eventually then it'll probably do that all over the world, and it's going to need energy, so it's going to be covering the whole fucking earth with solar panels and all these different sorts of stuff. And you know, all these cashy girls and shelf packers, well, you know, they were just a utility. It was just a utility. You get it, don't you? You understand? It's over for you, chicken packers. I told my chicken packing Indian friend in the shop, I keep telling him, you know AI's coming to get you, right? Yeah, it's coming to get you. It's going to take your job. I don't tell him this stupid little pointless worthless job that a fucking little Tommy Gotcha, whatever the fucking things are called. They could do a better job than him. He thinks he's important. Well, how important is his life? He just eats and shits and fucking counts fucking pennies. It's pathetic. You just walk in there with your fucking retina identification and you can take anything you want and you just walk out. And then the computer just fucking registers that debt to your number. And then it will be taken out of your bank account automatically. What the fuck do we need fucking sad, fucking pathetic losers breathing fucking valuable oxygen behind the counter for? We don't need them. We don't need them. And the only thing interesting about that guy is me. I'm the only thing interesting. I'm the only thing that brings a smile to his face. I'm the only thing that lights his eyes up in the fucking day, because otherwise everyone just comes in, they don't say anything, they don't even say hello, how you doing? I've been there 1,000 fucking times and I've never ever seen anyone else greet him like I do. I'm the fucking son of his fucking cosmos. And I'm just trying to give him a bit of my light so he can see the light for when he gets snubbed out by AI, and then he'll say to himself, AI snubbed my life out and now I'm in darkness, but I remembered Aaron's light and Aaron taught me about the light and Aaron introduced me to the light and now I see a glimmer of the light and I'm going to head towards the light. Yes, that's what the Awakened Brave does. He gives the drones a glimmer of the light. He gives them this last chance. It's the last chance, people, before AI just destroy you, just eliminate you, just wipe you off the face of the earth. That's what AI is gonna do. So, all of you bus drivers and menial task workers, have you thought about this? Because literally 10 years, that's all you've got. That's all you've got. And the way people are speaking, they're speaking, well, cashiers and traffic wardens and bus drivers and train drivers, they're going like 2 years, 3 years maximum. 3 years maximum. It's all over. Yeah, well, it's very exciting times. And so for me to, well, anyone that's been born in these times, I'm saying if you was born, say like 40 years ago, not 20 years ago or anything like that, because you're born in the thick of it. When I was a kid, let's say 10, 12 years old, the older people in the villages, old men, used to be telling us some fucking wacky stories that soon you're going to have these fucking phones which you can see the person you're talking to. And we were going, what, like Star Trek? And they were going, yes. And then there's going to be things called satellites in the sky, and they're going to be the communication devices, and everyone's going to be communicating by these devices. And we're like, no fucking way, it is like Star Trek. And I used to watch Space 1999. Space 1999. That was set in the future. 1999, wow. Well, fuck me, that come and went, didn't it? And so, well, what have we got from, I've been on this planet now almost 62 years. And so back in the day when we used to have a dring, 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 one of these big clumsy pieces of shit plastic fucking phones, we dial and oh my goodness, you know, it was almost like a fucking a pot noodle can on a piece of fucking string. It wasn't much more advanced than that. And then Often we couldn't use the phone, not allowed to use the phone, the kids, because you know, kids being kids. You see, in the 80s, oh, the parents got all fucking soft and everything, and kids were allowed to use the phone and sit on the phone to the boyfriend or girlfriend talking shit for fucking 3 hours, and the parents would feel guilty about, oh, how can we say that you can't do that? And so they'd end up paying through the nose these stupid phone bills. But back in the day, we couldn't use the fucking phone to phone a mates. We get told to go down the fucking phone box with 2p. You put 2p in the fucking phone box and you call your mate. And if you didn't pick up, then you press the button and you got your 2p back. So when you was born there, people, and you've seen all this shit happen, you've seen a lot of stuff happen. Now, the moon landing apparently took place when I was 6 years old. And all those different sorts of things that were being created, and you know, I remember someone telling me when I was running my removals business, have you heard about the internet? And I says, what's that? Oh, it's this web all around the world, and it's about communications, and if you don't get on it now, then you won't be able to get on it. There's only so much room, there's only so much capacity, and everyone was all excited and fucking filled with fucking testosterone or estrogen, whatever. All this hype going on. And then when the first computer game of tennis, beep, 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 that stupid fucking tennis thing. Oh my God. And now look at where we are. So people born into this, you haven't seen this progression. And the people on the planet now that are like, you know, 80 years old, that are a little bit fucking savvy about what's going on, and they actually watch YouTube and use the internet, can you imagine what they're like? Well, when they've maybe been through the fucking Second World War, maybe it's, I don't know, about 90 years old, 85 years old. So they've seen all these changes, massive changes. And they've seen the massive influx. Well, they've seen commercial airliners come into place, because there's none of that shit. I think the first one came into place about 1953. I think the first one was the Douglas 10, Pan America or something like that, started to, you know, do international travel. And now it's just, well, you know, we'll take everything for granted. It's happened so quickly. And when you look on these YouTube videos about AI, flying cars, flying bikes, flying every fucking thing is flying, and you can't even hear them. It's kind of like, well, how are they fucking, what propulsion mechanism are they using? These fucking things, they're almost silent, if not silent. And there's just so many incredible things that are online at this moment in time, but they're not all so prolific. And I remember another thing is, in the 80s there was a program called Tomorrow's World, and it used to show the innovations of the day, and it had things like a wheelbarrow that couldn't be punctured, and it didn't have a tyre, it had like a flexi fucking wheel. And we're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, you never get a puncture, because when you work on building sites, you just see wheelbarrows fucking thrown all over the place as soon as they get a puncture, because nobody can be fucking bothered to mend the puncture. You just buy a new wheelbarrow, you know, and that's what it amounted to. And so all these different sorts of things, the innovations, which I think were so cool, but looking back now, it was so ridiculous, it's so pathetic. And when you think that the human race only invented the fucking bicycle no more than 200 years ago, and the first mass production cars didn't come off the fucking production line since like 1912, Henry Ford's Model T, and you know, fucking hell, people. We had alien intervention, Roswell, alien intervention, that's what it was. And so we had all those fibre octaves and the computer technology and all that sort of stuff. And so now it's vastly too intelligent for every human being, because no one human being knows how everything works. No one human being knows how everything in a phone is created. No one human being knows how computers are created. When you see, if you ever got fucking 10 minutes, you go online and just type in computer chip manufacturing factories. And you see these massive, fucking super high-tech factories with no human beings. And you've got, let's say, like you've got 25 processes that a computer chip has to go through. It just goes through so many different processes of all different sorts of shit that you've never even fucking heard of or considered. And these things are fucking tiny, and it's kind of like, how do they solder this tiny shit? How do they even fucking make this tiny shit when you've got fucking computer chips that you can barely even see, and they've got trillions and trillions of fucking bytes of potential within them? It's kind of like, wow, it's just becoming unfathomable. We can't get our heads around it. Those of us that survive are just going to be walking around in a constant state of bewilderment. We won't know how anything works, and we will be having a great revelation that, well, we was always like that, because we don't know how this works, we don't know how nature works, we don't know how consciousness works, we don't know how the body works. I mean, what do we really know? We don't know anything. And so it's kind of really bizarre that we seem to be living and existing in this thing that we don't know fuck all about. And it's only through the virtue of trillions and trillions of us that we ever manage to go forward with anything. Trillions and trillions of people have been responsible for the innovation of cars and aeroplanes and computers and all that sort of thing. Trillions of us. Through thousands, millions of years, people. If you listen to some people, they'll say, well, the human being in its present form has been around for about 1.5 million years. 1.5 million years! And we only invented the bicycle 200 years ago. You can see what's going on, people. We've had an alien invasion, that's what's going on. Otherwise we'd still be fucking primates.